Ladies and gentlemen of the press, welcome to Crime CPOA. We are going to read a statement on the state of the nation. We know there are lots of things that have been happening that are great concern to the whole country. And as an organization that is at the center of crime prevention, legal empowerment, and social justice, we felt it appropriate to talk to the nation at this point. So I'll read the statement done by Crime CPOA, after which we'll do the Kiswahili version, and then we'll take questions after that. So these are statements, Crime CPOA statement on the state of the nation. The reckless and shocking shooting of Boniface Karaoke yesterday. A young and armed Kenyan who was simply selling masks to demonstrators is a worrying sign that there's a growing threat posed by some dangerous, trigger-happy, and rogue police officers within the Kenya Police Service. Thankfully, the power of social media once again came into play. Viral videos of the incident show that the victim did not pose any threat at all to the public or to the police, and that there was no attempt to arrest him, giving the perpetrator little chance of escape from an offense captured real time. Within hours, the perpetrator's identity had been widely circulated, his image shared across multiple platforms, his social media accounts exposed, his name publicly broadcast to both national and international audiences. We want to commend the Inspector General of Police for ordering the immediate arrest and arraignment in court of the said rogue officer. This sense of urgency in accountability should be the norm in identifying, isolating, and prosecuting such crimes if the confidence of the public is to be restored in the law enforcement agencies. It is unfortunate that this latest incident happened in the background of demonstrations called to protest the recent death of teacher blogger Albert Ojwang in police custody. The demonstrations called yesterday were once again taken over by a coordinated group of armed and violent youth who went on a spree of robbery and assault in the central business district of Nairobi, often in full view of, or even accompanied, or seemingly accompanied by armed police officers. This alarming situation prompted the Senate Majority Whip, Dr. Boni Alwale, to post on his X account a video showing what I've just talked about with the comments, which I'll quote, "How low have we sunk? The Kenyan police escorting goons armed with crude weapons." Crime CPOA has consistently warned against the increasing mobilization of young people into gangs in different parts of the country, a situation that threatens the current and future stability of the nation as we head to the 2027 polls. None other than the CS Interior, Hon Chumba Murkomen, is on record as alluding to politicians being the bankrollers of these criminal enterprises. Despite such loud pronouncements, no action has been taken to address the situation. We believe it is time to walk the talk and arrest all the godfathers of these gangs. One cheeky commentator was quick to point out that it's very ironical that Kenya has deployed the police to fight gangs in Haiti, while here in Nairobi, they were seen to be escorting gangs and even watching as crimes were being committed. We need to remind all and sundry that our constitution upholds the principle of servant leadership, and it is on this basis that the police was changed from a force to a service answerable and accountable to the citizens of the great nation of Kenya. We seem to be fast digressing from these standards. Our law enforcement agencies risk losing the trust of the people they serve. Sadly, we are also witnessing an increase of attacks against law enforcement in the course of their work. All these recent happenings have cast a dark shadow over law enforcement and calls for resolute leadership. As a nation founded and guided by the rule of law, we must all Kenyans, strive towards building a safe and crime-free nation for all. We each have a role to play, but that role cannot be played in the absence of trust between law enforcement and the public. Despite the safeguards underpinned by Articles 25 and 29 C2F of the Constitution, many Kenyans have complained of being subjected to violence, torture, inhumane and degrading treatment while in the hands of certain law enforcement officers. Many more have also complained of their rights as arrested persons under Article 49 of the Constitution being routinely abrogated at the report desks of police stations. The Inspector General of Police and the National Police Service must therefore take firm and decisive action to restore discipline within the service. Corruption and impunity at all levels must be firmly addressed, and all officers found culpable must be held accountable and removed from the system. The protection of human rights, including those of suspects, must remain non-negotiable principle of policing. Crime CPOA calls for thorough investigation and prosecution of all those culpable, including the goons that we saw harassing, robbing, attacking innocent civilians. And we also want to let Kenyans know that there's a very wonderful agency called the Witness Protection Agency, which we call upon today to step up and assure willing but scared witnesses of their safety so that they can give evidence in court. Let justice be our shield and defender. Thank you.